welcome back. Today we're in another video. In today's video, this is my first reaction video, and this video is how I learned Blender, made by the12blank. Shout out to this guy. I'm gonna leave a comment, but before we do, we won't post this till we finish the video. So this is my first reaction video. Let's get into it. By the way, I will be talking.
It's a great software that I've known about for 4 years now.
Okay. Right as we start in the video, what I love is he has 4 fingers, but it looks like he's showing up 5.
And I never really gave it any of my time to sit down and learn it.
Same with me. I have Blender, never gave it my time, but I think I am coming out with a Blender video soon, boys.
I always thought it was too hard and that I would never be able to make much of anything with it. There would be times where I'd give it a half-effort attempt, but I'd usually give up within 15 minutes of loading up a project. And that's how it was for 4 years. Something I had full access to, but never gave it much of my time. And then one sad, depressing day in March, as I sat alone in my room, animating my 4 things I hate about Florida video, with a process that I found to be mentally draining. A process similar to puppet animation, but required me to rebuild my character over and over again for each scene I needed to animate. And because I did this in a free editing software, I would face glitches.
Imagine using hit film. Nah, I use Clipchamp. That's 10 times better, bro.
That would scatter my individual character assets all across.
That looks terrible. Oh my gosh. Man, never use hit film. I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure it's actually a really good one. I think it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've used it.
Across the editing viewport, nice. Which I would have to fix every individual frame of. Here's a TikTok I created displaying one of these glitches with me complaining about it. It's my most liked TikTok.
I'm telling you, viewers love suffering. You want me to come out with a suffering video, me trying to use Blender with no YouTube? That better get a lot of views. If it doesn't, I'm going to forget.
People enjoy suffering over triumph, it seems.
Agreed.
So as I wrapped up the animation of my Florida video, I made a decision. A decision that became the best decision I have ever made.
Are you serious? Blender is really hard, but it's also really easy. I've never tried it, so let's see how it goes for him.
Sit down and finally learn Blender. Having a permanent 3D character to pose and animate sounded way better than rebuilding my 2D character over and over again.
Man, that 2D character probably took you like 3 minutes to build. This is gonna take you like 5 years.
And so the day after I uploaded...
Hold up. Were you on that? I want to see that.
The character over and over again. So the day after I uploaded my Florida video, I got straight to work to learn Blender. I loaded up a new project with creating a character in mind, but I knew jumping straight in on my own wasn't the way to go. I needed to learn how things worked, so I looked up a tutorial.
Blender. If you don't know, I found Blender Grew. I found this exact same tutorial. I just quit 3 minutes.
Let's see here. Oh, what's this? Donut tutorial? Oh, nah, that's way too many parts. I
know, it's probably gonna take you at least 5 hours.
I can't sit through all that. I'd rather spend eternity elsewhere.
What's really funny, I love how you said I would rather spend eternity elsewhere because Blender's quote-unquote hard.
I need to make blank in 3D, so... Oh, hey, a character tutorial.
I'm trying
this one should help.
So
I sat down and followed this tutorial by Pixo3D exactly.
Shout out Pixo3D.
I did everything he did, and it really helped me wrap my head around Blender. And then I discovered something. Blender was never hard. I was just stupid. Why did I never do this before?
I mean, I agree with him. I mean, it looks hard, but it's actually very easy. I mean, I don't know if it's hard. Might be easy. Well, let's see.
Look, if you're someone wanting to get into Blender, but you think it's too hard, I want you to watch the same video I watched and follow it step by step. Do everything Pixo3D does. It doesn't cover everything to do with Blender, but it teaches you the basics of simple modeling, and it will help you a lot. And Pixo3D, if there's a sliver of a chance you're watching this, thank you. I love you.
Did he? I don't like... Let's read this. Lori? What? Good job, bro. Appreciate it. Good luck for your Blender journey in the future. Burst in the laughter when 5... Are we? Alright.
View. So with my newly acquired but limited knowledge about Blender, I jumped...
What in the world is that?
Straight into translating blank into the third dimension.
Ah, yes. The third dimension.
And so I sat on my computer for hours testing out different ways of modeling him. You see,
I don't like that. I do not.
the main difference between my 2D and 3D designs is the way the head
POV, you just came back from Ohio from Walmart.
head connects to the body. In 2D, the head attaches
Why is my thing muted?
right to the top of the torso, and in 3D, it doesn't. This is because I simply couldn't figure out how to do that without blank looking weird.
I can agree. That looks He has spider hands. He became one with Spider-Man plus Spider-Man. He's Spooderman plus Spider-Man plus blue and white equals this type of hand.
I mean, the arms were never connected before, and neither were the legs. So what's one more floating body part?
Okay.
Bloop. After spending more time modeling the arms and legs, I came up with...
That's right here. Look.
Bloop.
That's better than me trying to model.
After spending more time modeling the arms and legs, I came up with this design. Right here is the first 3D blank I successfully finished, and I was rather content with it.
Okay.
Now, I may have had a
You spoiled it. That changes.
finished model, but it couldn't do anything. It was just sort of useless at this stage. I needed to make it posable, and to do that, it needed a rig. So back to YouTube I went in search of a rigging tutorial, and I found this video by TLD Studios. I sat through it, again following it to a T, gaining the permanent knowledge of character rigging. And there I had it. I was able to move my character. But I overlooked a very important detail when it comes to character rigging, something that would come back to haunt me. But for the time being, my character had no issues whatsoever. Everything went smoothly. I gave the rig IK controls with the help of this tutorial by Royal
Just by moving his mouse and doing that is better than my modeling. That's how bad.
Skies. And it was looking good. So I had this fully rigged character, but it had no textures. So what is a man to do when he wants to texture his character?
Let's go straight to YouTube.
That's right, he takes straight to YouTube again to find another tutorial. Now, I don't remember exactly who I watched to learn this information, but the process of texturing something in a 3D software requires UV unwrapping the character's mesh. Don't know what that means? Yeah, me neither. But I found out. UV unwrapping is basically skinning your character. You place these seams on your mesh, which is where your 3D object will unfold onto a 2D plane. Then you export the UV map to a PNG. Pop it into whatever drawing software you prefer. I prefer Krita because
I use Krita.
it's free.
Pipedrive, the easy and effective CRM.
Technical difficulties.
And get to drawing whatever textures you want over the UVs. Save that once your textures are looking textured. And in the shading tab of Blender, hook the image texture up. And there we have it, a finished character. And I know what you're thinking. Hey, this isn't the model used in your videos. And you're right. This thing is probably the ugliest piece of garbage I have ever created. I could never let this be the face of my channel. I don't even know how I let myself get this far with this model.
Yeah, why?
Being unhappy with my work, I loaded up another Blender project and completely
emotional damage.
Restarted. I did the whole modeling process over again, but this time I did things differently. I made it look good. And then I decided to do something differently with Blank's textures. Instead of the default dull look, I wanted to give it a cartoony cel-shaded look. So one tutorial later and I had it complete. I only had one more important thing to do, and that was to rig it. So I followed the same process as before. I gave him a rig, and before I added IK controls, I wanted to give it a test. So I parented the mesh to the armature and I started posing. What? Huh? Why isn't it bending correctly? The arm isn't even connected to the armature right. What the heck? You know what? Maybe if I add the IK controls, the problem will be fixed. Let me just do that. Alright, let's see if that did anything. Okay, YouTube has been handy so far. I'll just look up the problem and there's gotta be a fix for it. Huh? Weight painting?
I hear that's really hard. Let's see what happens.
Oh, okay, I think I understand. Alright. I'll just do this. It shouldn't take too long.
I think we need some CPR. Guys, there's actually breaking news. A guy is on his floor. That is not good. We need CPR.
Yeah, that's me right there.
Yes.
I'm on the floor of my room. It's dark outside compared to the light-filled scene showed previously. Well, it's been about 6 hours. You might be wondering what happened. Well, it's not something I want to go into. Remember when I said I overlooked something that would come back to haunt me? Well, this is it. Just know that weight painting is no joke when you're a beginner to Blender. If you're someone wanting to get into 3D character creation and rigging, just know that you will have to inevitably face the trial of weight painting. It will tear at your sanity, bring you to a lower point than you ever thought was possible in your life.
Chill.
Trying to wrap your head around why geometry that has nothing to do with the bone you're moving is being affected.
Well, I haven't even passed college yet.
But you know what? Only the weak-minded give up. And last time I checked, I've uploaded 5 YouTube videos using Blender. That's right. I conquered the task of weight painting. After like 2 more days. But it was done. And I swore to myself I would never do that process ever again in my life. But I quickly broke that promise to myself when I updated my character's design. It was still an irritating process, but it was a little less painful now that I knew what I was doing. It didn't stop me though from making a YouTube community post captioned with the word pain and a screenshot of my weight painting progress. And I can see myself having to do it again in the future. As an artist, things can always be better, and my character is no exception to that. But for now, I'm gonna leave him alone.
No, what is he doing?
There's one last thing to go over involving Blank, and that's his face. I don't know if you've noticed so far, but Blank is faceless. And this is because the face is entirely done in the 2D animation section of Blender. It's broken down into 3 individual parts: the eyebrows, eyes, and mouth. They're all separate grease pencil drawings with different frames hooked up to individual time offset.
Let me see what that says.
They're all separate grease pencil drawings with different...
As of this video, the mouth is only a grease pencil object. I reuse and I draw the mouth and eyebrows. Okay.
Frames hooked up to individual time offset modifiers. So I'm able to just flip through each of their different drawings. It allows me to lip sync really easily and adjust the expressions. I figured this out with a tutorial from Cartoon Cocktail because if it wasn't apparent already, I cannot figure stuff out on my own. So, if I'm not mistaken, that pretty much covers everything involving Blank. When it comes to the journey, making him was the hardest part. Everything else was a little bit easier, like building the sets. Making the sets actually has to be one of my favorite parts about making my videos. There isn't a whole lot to say about them, but I'd like to just go off script for a bit and paint around the different sets I've created for my videos. A little bit of an out-of-bounds tour.
1137. By the way, I'll link his channel in the video. Actually, you know what? I won't skip it.
I should say.
But I'll link his channel in the video, in this video in the description. Okay. Okay, that's nice. There's his room. There's the street in the house. Okay. 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 Joe Market. Joe Mama. So Blender is hard and easy at the same time. What? That makes grimace shake. The grimace. I have a cousin, and I'm the oldest cousin. I have 4 cousins. I'm the oldest, and the youngest, he's 6 years old. And he says for the grimace shake, he says the grimace shake. It cracks me up. The grimace shake.
Alright, y'all. That's the video. Blender has been quite the adventure so far. As of recording this, I have a total of 324 hours on record. And by the...
324. We got 324. I repeat, we have 324. We have 324 guys on that.
The time I wrap this video up, that number will be even higher. I'll probably place my updated hours somewhere on the screen.
$415 hours. I mean, that's insane.
But I hope you enjoyed hearing me go on about my journey. I did have a plan to go over my video making process, but I'm still experimenting with that. Okay. So I'll go over it in a future video. Okay. But for now, I'll see you later.
All right.
Bye.
All right, before I end this,
finally finished another video. I hope they like it. Huh?
Grimace shake.
Hello?